Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. And I can't remember who did the original video, but I saw this video on Cassidy Von Ashay's channel, so I will link her video down in the description as well as the original video when I find it. And I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I really loved the questions on this tag, so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and do it. So let's just jump right in. So question number one is favorite book that you've read so far in 2015, and honestly, this was the easiest question in the entire tag. The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Like, I love the entire trilogy, but this one was the best one. So good. Like I said in my June wrap-up, this is the best book that I've read since Harry Potter 7. Like, I love this so much. So question number two is best sequel that you've read so far in 2015, and while I could very easily just start talking about The Well of Ascension, I decided to give that trilogy a little bit of a break. It'll come up again, I promise. And I'm going to talk about some other sequels that I really love. So there are two sequels that I've read so far this year that were definitely better than the rest of the books in their series. And the first one is Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is so far my favorite book in the Lunar Chronicle series. It just gave me all the feels. It was so wonderful and it made me like super excited about winter. And the second one of those is The Runaway King, which is the second book in the Ascendance trilogy by Jennifer A. Nielsen. And it's also my favorite book in the trilogy. It's so good, it's so fast-paced, it's so exciting. I really enjoyed this book. Question number three is new release that you haven't read yet but really want to, and once again I've decided to go with two books because there are just so many. The first one of those is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This one sounds really exciting, really awesome. I've been wanting to read this one ever since I first heard about it. Haven't gotten to it yet. It is so close to being read, y'all. Like, I think I'm gonna get to this in August, but yeah, definitely need to read this one. And the second one is, of course, The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. Now, this was my most anticipated release of the year, and I still haven't gotten to it yet. I think I just took too long of a break from the series, and then I got out of the mood for it, and now I'm just kind of waiting to be in the mood for the series again so that I can finally jump into this. Question number four is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I actually did a full Top 5 Wednesday video on this topic and a blog post on it listing like several more books that I'm really excited about. So I'll link those down in the description. But right now at this very second, I would probably say that I'm really excited about the Dan and Phil book that's coming out called The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire. I'm also really excited about Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Although Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray is also up there. But those are like my top few. Question number five is biggest disappointment, and I'm sorry I have two again. I'm bad at narrowing things down. The first one is a new release of 2015, and that is The Leveler by Julia Durango, which I actually had to like dig in the back of my bookshelf to find because I just hid it because I didn't want to look at it. I did discuss this one pretty in depth in my June wrap-up, and I did do a full review on that. I guess I'll leave a link down to that in the description. I'm leaving a lot of links today. Anyway, I felt like this was really juvenile, and I was really disappointed because it sounded really exciting, and it just wasn't. And the second book that was pretty disappointing was Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie, which is one of the books in her Poirot series. Now, I love Agatha Christie. She is one of my favorite authors, and I love the Poirot series. It's one of my favorite series. But this book was just kind of a disappointing installment in the series. It didn't have the same, like, air as all of the other Poirot books. It wasn't as like exciting. I wasn't as like eagerly curious to figure out who done it. I didn't really care that much about it. Like, I didn't feel much of anything toward the book or the characters, and it was pretty disappointing because the rest of the books in that series have been really great so far. Question number six is biggest surprise, and for this one I had to go with Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Now, I'm not surprised that I really enjoyed this book. I was hoping I would really enjoy it. What really surprised me was the sense of paranoia that I had all throughout reading this book, because I don't get easily spooked by movies or books or really anything, but I felt very paranoid while reading this book because of how like off-putting and creepy it is. So yeah, this one definitely surprised me in that aspect. Question number seven is favorite new author, and this can be either a debut author or an author that you just hadn't read before 2015. And by far the best new author that I've read in 2015 so far is Brandon Sanderson. Like, I've loved all four of the books that I've read by him. They're so amazing. I cannot wait to read more of his books. Like, yeah, just Brandon Sanderson, he's amazing. He's probably going to become my favorite author once I read some more of his books. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush, and without a doubt, it's Elend from the Mistborn trilogy. I love him so much. I've mentioned it a couple times now. I love Elend. Instead of being a good little nobleman's son and going to the balls and interacting with people, he just sits down with a big pile of books and reads, and I think that's so hilariously adorable. And he's actually a nice guy, unlike a lot of male romantic interests in YA, and he's so sweet and so adorable and a book nerd, and I love him. And he's really annoying and sarcastic, which is one of my favorite things. Question number 9 is newest favorite character, and once again, I could go with Elend, I could go with Kelsier, I could go with Vin, I could go with Sazed. I'm gonna stop myself before I name every single character from the Mistborn trilogy, but I decided in the end to let them take another break because I'm talking about them a lot, and go with Captain Thorn from the Lunar Chronicles series. Captain Thorn isn't one of those romantic interests that I would actually want to date, but I think that he's just such a fun character. He's funny and he's arrogant, and he's actually still a nice guy, and I really love Thorn. He's so much fun to read. Question number 10 is book that made you cry, and I'm sorry. It's Hero of Ages, it's Mistborn again. I'm sorry, these books are just so good. If you haven't read them, read them, because like they literally could fit almost every single positive question on this list. It's just, this book made me sob, it made me cry ugly tears, it's just so good. Question number 11 is book that made you happy, and for this one I decided to go with the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Rees Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. I actually almost used this for book that surprised me because I read the first like 6 novellas last year and then put it down because I really wasn't impressed, and then I went back and I read the last few and loved them. But I decided to use this one for the one that made me happy because Magnus Bane just never fails to make me laugh or smile, especially in the last few novellas in this book, because there are just so many hilarious, adorable moments, and yeah, Magnus Bane never fails to make me happy. Question number 12 is favorite book to movie adaptation that you've seen so far this year, and I actually haven't seen any book to movie adaptations so far this year. I'm just not a huge movie person. I like them, but I tend to just watch my favorites over and over again. So I decided instead to talk about a book that I really want to read that has recently been turned into a movie that I also want to see, and that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Now, I'm not typically a huge contemporary person, but I have been in a contemporary mood lately, and that movie just looked really good and really cute and adorable and funny, so I really wanted to read the book, and I might need to do that sometime soon and then watch the movie, because it's something that is really intriguing me right now. Question number 13 is kind of a two-parter. It's what's your favorite review that you've written so far this year, and for booktubers, what's your favorite video that you've made so far this year? My favorite written review that I've done so far this year would probably be my review of Night Film by Marisha Pessl, mostly because I just couldn't really articulate my thoughts in a video form, so I decided to do a full written review, and I think it came out a lot better than a video review would have been. As far as my favorite video that I've made this year, I'll probably have to go with my 2 top of my TBR videos that I've made so far this year, mostly just because those are the most fun to film, because I really like talking about the books that I'm really excited about reading in the near future. And I will leave a link down in the description to the playlist where I have both of those videos if you do want to check those out. It's basically just me talking about the books that are really intriguing me at whatever moment that the videos were posted, and there will probably be a new one in the very near future since the summer is winding down, as well as my book buying ban is winding down, so yeah. Expect one of those in the near future. Question number 14 is most beautiful book that you've bought so far this year, and this one was kind of close between A Darker Shade of Magic and The Fade Out Volume 1. I just am obsessed with this cover. Honestly, it might be my favorite cover on anything ever. I really like typewriters. Red is my favorite color, and I love the whole watercolor paint type thing turning into blood. It's so cool. So yeah, this is my favorite book cover that I've gotten so far this year, and possibly my favorite book cover ever because it's just so beautiful. Question number 15 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So there is a huge long list of books that I want/need to read by the end of the year, but I think that the ones that I will feel most guilty about if I don't get to them by the end of the year are the Throne of Glass books. They have just been really high on my TBR for a really long time, and things will just pop up and be slightly more exciting to it, and I'll get to them first. And there's always like one book or series that I'm just slightly more excited about than the Throne of Glass series, and so it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I really need to read them by the end of the year because I've just been wanting to read them for forever and I need to finally do it. So yeah, that was the mid-year book freakout tag. I really enjoyed doing this one. I loved the questions on this. I think for tagging people, I'm gonna go ahead and tag anyone who also has read and loved The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. If you have read this and have given it like 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10, like if you've read this and loved this, you are tagged to do the mid-year book freakout tag. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads, and all of those other links I mentioned. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!